Welcome back, fam. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Work called. Work called. So we're doing pick a card readings. There's going to be 3 readings. They will be time-stamped in the comments and the description after the live is over. So decide now which reading you are drawn to, 1, 2, or 3. Hey, Risa. And we're going to get into it. All right. So I've got a few decks out here. We got Kipper. We've got Harrow. We've got my hand-drawn cards. I've got my Kuromi Tarot. Kuromi's my spirit animal, y'all. And name of this deck, the Midnight Magic Tarot. And we're gonna see what comes out. All right. So this is a full moon in Cancer. What you need to know regarding this moon's transital energy, which if you caught the cosmic currency that I did for it right before this live, then you'll kind of have a better idea of the energies at play no matter what time you're catching this message in divine time, whenever it's meant to catch you, right? It's these transits that are asking you to look at certain things, whether it is currently in the present or sometime in the divine future. Hey, Kelly. Welcome back, Kristen. I love you too. So readings 1, 2, and 3. We're going to get right into reading number 1. We're going to timestamp it at 2 minutes. If you are drawn to reading number 1, and that was the number that you just resonated to, there's something about when I said number 1 that it stood out to you, then we are diving into a look at the past in order to help you better understand where you are. Okay. So let's see what you need to reflect on. A previous mirror, right? A previous cycle that was probably difficult, right? In your Jupiter and Gemini and square to Saturn, challenging that, Mars and Pluto integration going on. Something in the past that needs to be revisited so that you can make some progress. So who are the characters or the people at play? I'm going to pull some Harrow first. Who are the people or the energy at play? We got the Rabbit Prince in the reverse. And the Waxworks. Bottom of the deck is the Keep. So it might have been somebody that you lived with at some point, whether it was your parents and you lived with them or a partner that you currently live with. And it's just a past version of yourself that got you to where you are in the present situation, right? Take it as it resonates. But that's what we're going to be going over. Let's get some Kipper out here. Yep, the family room flew right out to clarify that. So definitely a family situation. Clarify the Rabbit Prince reverse, please. Clarify the Rabbit Prince reverse, please. We have the Privileged Lady with that energy and the Wax. Oh, the Waxworks. We're going to get that in a second. Mature Woman also came out with the Privileged Lady. The Waxworks, we got Poverty. Okay. Waxworks, we got Poverty. Bottom of the deck is Mean Female. So chances are, if you were drawn to reading number 1 and reading number 1 was the one that you were intrinsically, magnetized to, we're probably reflecting on your mom. We're probably reflecting on your mom or the mother that you lived with. Okay, the mother, the person you identify as your mother that you lived with, whether they're your birth mother or not, you know, if they're your stepmom or an adopted mom or someone who was like a mom to you, you know, maybe you lived with your grandparents growing up or spent a lot of time there, but we're probably reflecting on your mom and how it has manifested itself in your current dynamic shifts with you being a mother or being involved with one, right? The mother of your children or something like that, right? The main female of your life now. So I know I love my backdrop too. It's wisteria. I was so excited. I was so excited. Let's get one more deck out. Let's pull my hand-drawn cards. Clarify the Rabbit Prince, please, with the Privileged Lady and the Mature Woman. Let's get another archetypal energy on those cards before we get into the tarot. The Pedestal came out. And the Waxworks with Poverty, please. Clarify that. The Chrysalis and the Reverse, which is interesting because the person on the card in the Waxworks is also upside down. Interesting. Bottom of the deck is the Nightingale. So you're on the verge of breaking out of this. This is what these transits are doing. Let me read these cards for you. The Harrow cards. The Rabbit Prince is a dexterity card. Upside down. It's chaotic neutral. As an alignment. Being in reverse would make it lawful neutral. So lawful alignment tends to feel contracted or obligatory, like it can't be broken. The Rabbit Prince is a quirky fellow who represents the vagaries of hand-to-hand combat. The prince is battle personified and nothing if not capricious. As his broken sword symbolizes, any combatant can fall in battle, no matter how brave or skilled. This card sometimes stands for younger members of royalty or other powerful households. Coming out in the reverse, this could be someone who doesn't know when to walk away from a loss. This could be someone who can't accept the fact that they chose a lose-lose situation, or someone who was ignorant to the fact that they were choosing a lose-lose situation at the time. An unwillingness to surrender to the fact that maybe they picked the wrong battle, right? They chose a path in life and maybe it is not the right path. Especially if it put someone on a pedestal, right? Gave someone privilege, right? The privileged lady. Maybe someone picked a path, putting someone on a pedestal, and maybe a mature woman, right? Very different from the privileged lady. It's like old soul, young soul. Maybe a certain path was taken. The mature woman being card 6 and the privileged lady being card 12. 6 is the number in tarot of the Lovers cards, and 12 is the Hanged Man. And maybe because 6 is half of 12, they thought the mature woman, regardless of gender, was half the woman that the privileged lady was. and they put the privileged lady on the pedestal. However, it was a losing battle, right? It was a lost battle. It was the wrong, quote unquote, wrong choice. They chose the path of lesson learning with someone who feels entitled and hasn't necessarily earned it. This may have even be like an actual male who had a choice between an older woman and a younger woman, and maybe chose the younger and put the younger on a pedestal, and maybe they would have been better off with the mature woman, or vice versa, right? Take it as it resonates. But I feel like whoever this character is, they chose a path where they put the privileged lady on a pedestal. We're going to get deeper into the tarot, but I think that was a mistake. Now, the Waxworks. It's a Constitution card. This is the other energy here. It's chaotic, evil, aligned. The Waxworks is a place of helplessness and physical entropy. The mind might be willing, but the flesh is frozen in this place of horror. It is also the card of torture and imprisonment, signifying literal inability to move or paralysis of a more prosaic kind. Someone who feels trapped in poverty and they can't get out of it. Right. These are the cards that it comes out with. Feeling trapped in poverty and they can't get out of it. So whoever put the other on a pedestal and gave them this quote unquote privilege, the other person felt trapped in poverty and is either incapable of change, right? Because the chrysalis is a changing catalytic kind of card. You know, you go from the caterpillar to the butterfly because of the chrysalis, but this person's rejected the chrysalis. And they have a very stuck or frozen mindset when it comes to poverty and feeling like they are without financially. Or they have bound themselves to situations or circumstances in which financially they're highly codependent. Highly codependent. And there's a reason why person number one attached themselves to this person. So they too also have some kind of psychic affliction when it comes to finances and money. Maybe they came from nothing, and no matter how much they try and build their life, they find themselves in financially stressful situations. Right? We're talking about person number one or energy number one and why they were attracted to or now feel trapped with person number two. Because the energy is shared. Person number one might feel obligated to stay with person number two because person number two is financially dependent on them. This is obviously a family situation. The Rabbit Prince being in reverse too might be someone who is less mature than they give themselves acknowledgement to. Like someone who parades around like they're the king of the castle, you know, the king of the house, and really they're really immature. Their thinking is not grown like they think. Maybe the mature woman really did deserve to be put on the pedestal. But the Rabbit Prince thought they knew better. Either way, they chose a losing battle and locked themselves in an impoverished situation where they're under financial stress and can't get out of it. They've locked themselves with someone, trapped themselves with someone where they literally can't make a move. They can't make a move. Let's get some more insight into this first person. What is going on? What happened in the past that they find themselves in the situation they're in now? Yeah, the Three of Wands. They definitely chose the wrong path. It's in reverse. The Three of Wands is a journey card, and they may have abandoned the right path, right? The highest path, chose against it for sure. Yeah, because they needed healing. Star card. They chose against their highest good path because they needed healing. Four of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands. Yeah, the king oyster and the copper spike mushrooms. This person had an ego. And it's definitely keeping them stuck or trapped. The Four of Pentacles. Doesn't have any room to move financially. There might also have been a lot of physical attraction to the privileged person that they put on the pedestal. A lot of chemistry. Yeah, King of Pentacles and the Emperor is what they're healing into. It's the path they could have taken had the Three of Wands been upright. Anything else we need to know about this? Yeah, the Ten of Swords. Person number one betrayed themselves when they chose to put on a pedestal a quote-unquote entitled person. And where they are at now, it's like they made their bed and they're burning in it. They made their bed and they're burning in it. Lust could have definitely been a factor. Attraction, it was a factor. Yeah, it was definitely attraction. But they, you know, the physical attraction wasn't, it's a veil to the attraction to the healing. Like they were more attracted to the person they needed to heal with. It doesn't mean one person was more beautiful than the other or whatever. It's just they were more attracted to the person they needed the healing with. And that is ultimately the path that they chose. Yeah, the Hanged Man is on the bottom. This person is in a state of spiritual paralysis until they do the deep dive. Five of Swords is on top. They're hella stuck in a mental war with themselves. Because I think, you know, if this is understanding the past that got you to where you are or helping you understand someone else, right? Hey, Rita. I feel like whoever this person is, they had an opportunity to choose their highest good path and refused at the time to do the work that was required of them to maintain a mature relationship, and ended up really sticking themselves, right? The Ten of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Hanged Man, the Four of Pentacles for lust. Like someone made a choice based off of lust and attraction and didn't look at the people in front of them. One who was privileged or entitled, and the other one who was very much more mature, wiser, a better long-term match, right? Long-term stability. This person had all the potential to be the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. healed and ended up just being a Knight of Wands, King of Wands type character. And I think that maybe this person is at war inside their mind with the wrong person. Like the Prince of the Rabbit Prince in the reverse, the Five of Swords on the top of the deck with the Hanged Man. Like they're going to need to see whoever the mature woman was differently, right? Hey, Meta. They're going to need to see the mature woman differently, because right now they might still very much be pointing the finger or blaming the mature woman for why things didn't work out or why they weren't chosen, when the reality is they chose their healing path because they needed it. It had nothing to do with the mature woman. The mature woman is not to blame and probably should have been put on the pedestal. But until they shift that perspective and take responsibility for their own choices and their own healing, they're going to remain stuck. All right. Let's get clarity on this second person. Let's get clarity on the second person, or the second energy, right? Poverty, the waxworks, and the chrysalis reverse, refusing to heal, poverty mindset, lack mindset, not worthy mindset, right? Which is intrinsically tied to this first person, feeling unworthy, feeling less than, feeling like they're trapped in their own state of madness. We got the Ace of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Magician, the Three of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords again. King of Swords, King of Cups. We got all the kings out here in this reading. Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Swords. That's that mental imprisonment. Again, they're mentally trapped. And the King of Pentacles, again, on top of the deck. This person, mind you, the energies that I have on the board, I've got Pisces, Aquarius, Virgo, Gemini, real strong, Aries, real strong, I'm getting this vibe of like sexual manipulation off the Ace of Wands and the Magician. That's sexual sex, that's sex magic. Someone knew that there was an attraction there and they went to war with the contract, right? The actual soul contract. So we definitely have third party situation here. This person may have been at war with you, or caused friction between you and whoever the first person is. The Six of Coins with the Five of Swords. They wanted all the money. Like this person has a poverty mindset and they wanted all the money. They wanted the privilege from person number one. They wanted to be put on that pedestal. King of Swords, King of Cups. Like this person is really smart and they're probably emotionally manipulative, or they know how to read someone's emotional state. They know how to read that psychic energy and use it to their advantage. And they definitely wanted someone else, you know, you, the viewer, cut out of the picture, with someone else. They wanted someone else cut out of the picture. They wanted everything. So the way that I'm reading this dynamic, one person did not want to share and demanded with their energy that the other person did not share and actively pursued a path to cut out someone else. And the someone else was the path, the highest path that coulda, shoulda, woulda been chosen. And this person refuses to change, is unable to change. They put themselves in a checkmate situation financially where they're extremely codependent, right? Person number 2, extreme codependency, and willing to go to war for it, right? Willing to fight off other people and cause problems to where the first person here is isolated. They picked a lose-lose battle. And both energies are highly masculine or highly dominant. And there's definitely conflict there. Like Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, those energies that are out here, like they're all in conflict with each other. Pisces and Virgo are in opposition and Gemini squares them both. There's definitely some challenges here with this dynamic. And I think that the one person number 2, purposefully keeps themselves in impoverished situations and high codependency in order to lock in people like person number 1. It's almost like a guilt trip, like making them feel obligated or putting them in situations where they are literally obligated to take care of them financially because they refuse to change their financial status. They refuse to change their circumstance. They want to be given to. And if they don't get what they want, they cause fights, they argue, right? We've got the 6 of Pentacles with the 5 of Swords. Like, if you don't give to me, I'm going to start an argument. I'm going to start a fight. You need to give me what I want. And if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to make your life hell, right? It's this kind of energy. They definitely have an entitled personality. And they are only worth what they are worth because person number 1 provides it. And this might be the reality that someone didn't see in the past. Because like I said, this is a past energy reading number 1. Someone didn't see it. Right? Person number 1 didn't see it. They might be on the verge of seeing it and realizing it, but they didn't see it at the time, and they need to see it now, right? They need to see it now, the situation they got themselves in with someone who refuses to improve and literally leeches off of them. It's parasitic, right? Person number 2 is a parasitic, toxic person. And it's because person number 1 had their own toxic traits, their own toxic perspectives or belief systems that needed to heal. And that's why they were magnetized or drawn to or attracted to person number 2. What is the divine conversation happening, please, Spirit? Or the divine conversation that you want to have with the person viewing this reading? What do you want them to hear? You know what I think? I don't. And you should give it a try. Trust your gut, your soul on this one. Intuit it out. You think too much. Thinking too much. Your best thinking got you here, right? says you already know. I've solved your current dilemma. Let me do what I do. Align. You are loved and supported always. All you have to do is align with it. And the universe will do the rest. Like, you have to trust that you are loved and supported by the divine. And that might be a sore spot. You know, maybe you've gone through a lot of your life feeling like the divine and it doesn't exist, or God doesn't exist, or whatever higher power doesn't exist or see you, you know, and that you've been forgotten or discarded by the divine, but it's not true. You know, it's just a divinity within yourself that you've disconnected from. I feel like this is in regards to the person who was not put on the pedestal, right? The path that wasn't chosen. It says, they didn't take you for granted or owe you anything. I called them in to be your teacher. What did you learn about yourself? Grow up time. You know, I had talked about how the first person had a choice, and they might be blaming or pointing the finger at person number one, or the person involved with them in the past. And there's a mental block there, right, in regards to the mature woman, whoever they are. The mature woman did not take person number one for granted, and they don't owe person number one anything. They were called in to be their teacher. What did you learn about yourself, right? And this is why this dynamic is important. Spirit's asking you to acknowledge that your best thinking got you where you are. You already know the problem has a solution. You just have to align with the solution, to remember that you are loved and supported by Spirit, and to remember that there is a time to grow up. Like, whoever it was that you discarded, or the person that was discarded, didn't take you for granted. They really don't owe you anything. They were called into your life to be your teacher and set you up on a course to learn about yourself. Because if you didn't meet them, you wouldn't be going through the healing process you are now. Your relationship with person number two, right, as person number one, your relationship with person number two would not be healing you now the way that it is had you not met the mature woman and chosen against them, right, and chose against them. They are the main female, right, bottom of the deck. They are the main female. They would have given you a sense of community. They might have changed homes or be changing homes, because I've got community, house, and change under that, and message under that, despair under that, toil and labor under that. Like, someone wants to communicate how much they've been working hard for what is essentially nothing. And they're expecting, if they're expecting person number, we'll call them person number three, to take care of them, they would be mistaken. So they have to get themselves in a situation where they can align as an equal, right? That the person involved in this reading as person number one can truly align with them and be worthy of that alignment. It requires change and a recognition of the gift that they were, the healing gift that they were, in order for there to be any forward progress, right? So if you are feeling stuck or chained to a wildly unfortunate situation, especially financially, you might need to change your perspective about someone who didn't deserve the outcome they got, right? They probably could have, should have, would have been put on the pedestal and weren't. And if there's like this feeling of a debt owed, like they owe you because they hurt you or they left you or they didn't do what you wanted them to do, it's because you were the one in misalignment, not them. Dems to breaks. That's reading number 1. I'm going to shuffle up these cards and we're going to get into reading number 2. Let me timestamp it real quick. All right. So reading number 2. If you were drawn to it intrinsically, you just felt guided to watch reading number 2, and that is your reading. You don't know why you were drawn to it, but reading number 2 is your reading. Then this is a present circumstance reading, right? What is going on in the present for you to see so that you can move forward accordingly, right? This is the present. Insight into the present so that you can move forward accordingly. All right. So Spirit, please. Sorry, you missed reading number 1. Miss Rita. Reading number 1 was insight into the past energy in order to help you move forward in the present. If you were drawn to reading number 2, then this is the present that you need insight into in order to move forward on the right path for you. Present insight. What is going on now? Right, the characters at play now, the energy at play now that you need to be aware of. All right. Let's get some cups. Spirit, who are the characters at play here? Who are the characters of the energy at play here in the present moment? Okay. We've got the Tyrant with the Dance, the Marriage, and the Publican. Who is the second energy? Who or what is the second energy? Okay. The Vision is on the bottom, so the reading is meant to bring epiphany. Okay. The reading is meant to bring epiphany. Let's get further clarifying energies with Kipper on the first person or energy. Distant horizons. So this is someone who is literally away at some distance, main male, and likely a male energy. A male at a physical distance from you. Clarify the second energy. Poverty and the House. Bottom of the deck is Coffin. All right. One more deck, hand-drawn cards, One more archetypal energy, please, for each of these people or energies. Let's see. Person and energy number 1. The fireplace and the mushroom. Clarify the second person or second energy. Demon. And you are stuck here. Crossroads is at the bottom of the deck.